Welcome back, Granola Man.
Hey, another top 10. Exciting stuff.
Always exciting to rate things.
Did you say rate?
Grape.
Oh, right. Great. Okay. Sorry.
Judge things.
Oh, judge things. Yes, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Before we start this beautiful top 10, I do have a little surprise for you.
Oh, I've been waiting for this all night. Oh, night light.
I'm just gonna watch on Twitch so I can see your delayed response.
Oh. Here you go.
Oh yes, I get the real response. Here we go. So I've been doing, just for context, guys, I've been doing fusion paintings where I just ask family and friends of three of their favorite characters of any kind of genre, movie, book, media, anything, and then I try to fuse them all into one being. And most people select, like actual people or actual like Pokemon or things that would go well together. Not Rayman. Nope. He chose Gengar, Darth Plagueis from Star Wars, and literally a spider.
Just a spider.
From a book of Children of Time. So if you try to think of these measurements, I feel like Gengar is like this short little chubby guy. Then you've got like
Darth
a Sith Lord who's just a super tall, skinny guy. And then you got a spider, which is just has no anatomy, like none of the similarities that you would see in a human. So bear with me, right, man. But this is what I got.
Oh, oh my god! I love it. Oh my gosh! Is that a little lightsaber in the belt?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's epic! And they all have the Gengar eyes in the mouth.
Right. Yeah. So I got the Gengar colors and his eyes and his mouth, and then the spider has 8 eyes and the legs, and then just the Sith Lord's uniform.
Yes. Oh my god.
Right.
This is so much better. Anything I could have imagined myself. I love it.
Oh yeah. This one took a lot of work. I was not happy with it. Most of my rough drafts, I was not happy. We'll keep it here for one day, and then I'll put it away so you can come get it for yourself.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I love it.
I'm glad you like it.
Oh my gosh, I'm just like right now.
Is it?
I love it.
You feeling hot?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm glad you like it.
Oh my god. It's epic.
Yes. That's the response I want.
Top 10 painting for sure.
Yes.
Ever. Ever done.
Ever.
By anyone.
Better than the male Mona Lisa?
It's up there with it.
It's up there with it. With smiling Jesus?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, well, today we're going to be doing another top 10. It is called... Wait, what did we title it? Ryan and Ryan's top 10 imposter... You read it.
It's Brian and Ryan's top 10 Impo-starters. Imposto starters.
Okay. We're doing pasta now.
Mm-hmm.
Impo-starters. And we are having a hard time with this because we wanted to do like a 4th starter, but at the same time, like some of them were plate starters, but while others were just like another starter. Essentially, we just went through Pokemon that we thought would be cool starters. And we did it through regions, so starting from Kanto. Okay, starting from the newest one, which is Paldea, and ending in Kanto. So, it's not so much a top 10 as in, this is my 10th favorite, this is my first favorite. We just went through regions. Again, I'll just have to say that we based all of these on whatever we want.
Yeah.
that's how we do things here.
Is there any criteria at all, or just...
Is there any criteria? There is no criteria. You just like kind of pick something and then explain it to yourself.
Fair
and
enough.
if we think the explanation's good enough, then that's good enough. And we don't think it's good enough, then who cares? You know?
Fair enough.
Have you seen the new Muppets movie, The Most Wanted?
I think so.
Yeah, like the one where like Kermit gets replaced by a evil frog.
Nope. I've not seen that, but I need to.
It's really good. Yeah, it's super funny. But so everybody still thinks it's Kermit, but he's got like a thick Russian accent, and no one picks up on it. So they're just
Of
like,
course they don't.
hey, Kermit, can we do the indoor running of the bulls? He's like, sure, whatever, I don't care. You know? And that's kind of like our mindset here. Like, you just do whatever you want. We're just doing whatever we want, and we're hoping it entertains you.
Yeah. You get a little... I just put up the slide right now. You can kind of see from these opening pictures what you're in for.
This is always my favorite, is the title slide.
Yeah.
Is that guy's from Ed, Edd and Eddy, right? Timber.
And it's Plank.
I don't know what the guy's name is.
It's like Jimmy,
and then
I
the
think.
martinis. Martinis. Wonderful. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Pollywag, I know where that comes from. Anyways. Yeah, if you want to get...
And what's that last one with the
to...
creepy eyes?
Comment. Let's go.
All right.
Do you have anything else to say?
No, let's go. Top 10.
All right, let's do it.
Starting at number 10, we have...
Dan Wooper. Yes. We did a top 10, and honestly, if I had to... We went to the top 11. I think this Paldean Clodsire,
Yeah.
would be on it. I love this thing. This is by super far my favorite Pokemon from the Paldean Pokédex, from these new Pokemon in Generation 8 or 9. I don't know where we're at now.
I think it's 9.
Oh, it's 9. So, yeah, I love this thing. It's so big and bubbly. I love how those things shoot out of its head and it shoots out ground or poison.
Mm-hmm.
I just love that typing as well. If I was to make, and also ground is just my favorite typing. So I would love to have a typing, an option to have a ground typing as a start. So again, for the most part, most of my slides are not Pokemon that I would replace. I would just add 4th starter.
Have they ever done that? Had a 4th starter?
No. Not that I know of. No. But yeah, so for most of my slides, you'll see like a red box around like a Pokemon that's not a real Pokemon, but some fan art that I have found that I would have as a placeholder. So I would have a Paldean Wooper as the starter, and then just so that it would follow the rules of a what is it called? Of a starter, I would give it like a middle evolution, and it could kind of look like I don't want to say Clodsire, Quagsire. It could look like a brown Quagsire with the little things on its back. Very simple. It could be a very simple design, and then of course end with this beautiful Clodsire. Oh man, I love it. And I think Wooper kind of looks like a starter. He's kind of like a cute little guy. There's like a lot of starters that I feel like that don't have arms or have very small arms. I found on the Pokedex it said that Paldean Wooper once lived in water during ancient times until they were forced out of their territory. As a result, they gradually adapted to living on land, namely in marshes. So, like, I read that and my mind immediately goes, hey, how about they were forced out of their territory and now they're very rare, just like starters are rare.
Mm-hmm.
And so Yeah, and so that would be like my story for Paldean Wooper. That there used to be a lot around, but they were forced out of their territory, and now there's only a few, and you can get them as a starter from whoever the Paldean professor is. Who is the professor? I can't even remember his name now.
Is it a him? I thought it was a her in your storyline.
That was the mom, isn't it, of Arvin?
But isn't that the professor in the story?
No. Oh, man, I'm drawing blanks. I don't remember who the professor is. Oh, the professor is the principal of the school.
Hmm.
I don't remember his name, though. Anyways.
Is it Clive, or...?
That was, like, his fake name, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so if we were to put another Paldean starter, I would have Paldean Hooper. And
that's pretty interesting, because I don't think our starters usually come with backstories. So it's kind of cool you'd give them one.
Thank you. Yeah, I feel like any region you go to, those starters are probably viewed as kind of rare. At least I'd like to think so.
Yeah.
Maybe not in the anime, but definitely on the games.
Mm-hmm.
That's my number 10. But you have any thoughts?
What do you like? How do you think a fourth starter would kind of like impact the dynamic? You know, like the starters kind of all balance each other's out. Like, do you think it'd make some kind of like square of like?
I guess not, right? Like ground is good against
fire.
Ground is good against fire,
but it's weak to grass.
But it's weak to grass, and it has water. I mean, mine has water absorb, so it doesn't need to get hit by water moves. Yeah, I don't know.
I didn't even think about that though. Right now, like I wonder how it would affect like the power dynamic. You know.
I guess you bring up a good point. It would be good against the fire type.
They'd probably have to take away
against the grass type.
Yeah. I mean that works if like each one of them has like a strength and weakness. You know.
But it's a poison type too, so that would be good against grass too.
Oh, true. This thing's just killing all the starters.
There you go, perfect starter. Yeah, I definitely did not take the power dynamic into thought too much in my choices, but I'll be excited to hear how you do it if that's how you explain the power dynamic. If that's something you
probably into. Not very much better. So I kind of went a more traditional route, and instead of adding a fourth starter, I thought I'd just replace one of them. Like, who I think would either make a better starter or a more interesting one, or sometimes even a more selfish one, because I did not like the way the starter looked, and I was like, this one just make a better looking starter, because the one they have is gross. In this case, I feel like Smoliv would have made a better starter.
Wow. Okay.
Wow,
I disagree so strongly.
Man, okay, so the cat is like okay, you know, it's like a magician, but I really when you think of Spain, you know, or Europe, like magic is not really what comes to mind, you know, but olives and wine and vineyards, you know, I feel really would capture the spirit of what the land is and what kind of goes on there.
I am from Spain, and I will tell you there are a ton of street cats.
Yeah, but
they're not magicians, though.
Okay, but yeah, there are cats there. But how many magicians did you run into there?
Cat magicians, or just regular?
Just regular magicians.
I mean, there's always street performers anytime you go to a big city, you know. But yeah, I would say that it's known for that.
Would you say they're more common than olives or wine?
No. In Spain, if you go to a restaurant, the wine is free.
Yeah,
that's how common wine is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like this would have better incorporated the region. You know, like this.
I agree with you. I'm just saying there are a lot of cats, but yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'll stop cutting you off.
I mean, I definitely feel like the cat should still be in the game. You know, like I definitely feel like that would definitely also kind of build the character and world building of the region too. You know, but this is more so the spirit of the area. Katie, I love olives.
Yeah.
Gross. Just kidding.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
You don't olives either?
No. D'olive and arbor olive. Right? Arbor olive are the names. I do think they could have done a little better design with the third one, but you know, like, it is what it is. Little olive branch, symbol of peace.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. You never heard of saying, like, extend an olive branch to someone?
I guess I have.
Yeah, that's how I...
Can you explain to me, though, how... I don't know if you... I'm guessing you haven't used this Pokemon. I just wonder how this third evolution attacks. That has nothing to do about your favorite or hating it or anything. I just want to know how it attacks.
Man. I imagine, like... It maybe like a Scyther just like swings his giant arms around. I don't know.
Just whacking it with his
just like pelts people with olives with the hard ass core.
The core just keeps growing inside the olives.
Yeah, it probably throws olive bits.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, and as far as I know, I think it's just a grass typing, which is fine. You know, like you can make it a. What is the grass one? Grass dark, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, those are purple gray. Make a little dark type. Those are purple olives. Yeah. You know.
Instead of making it like the skin being white, you could maybe. Never mind.
Yeah. No, let's go. Let's explore.
It probably throws a pixel. That's so funny.
Alright, let's move on to number 9. So this is for which Hisui.
So that'd be Arceus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I went with Pokemon that.
Now, is this a fourth starter or is this replacing the grass type?
Yeah, no, I was just going for a fourth starter.
Okay.
This is fairy psychic.
Oh, you're right. It's just green.
Yeah.
That threw me.
Yeah, so obviously Ralts is not from Hisui, but then again, neither are the starters from Hisui. Those came from other games, and I think they did a good job of, you know, making Typhlosion look different, making Samurott look different, and not a big fan of the Decidueye as much, but they did something with it. They did do something with it. So, in this one's kind of unorthodox, but what I would do is I'd have Ralts as one of the starters, but I wouldn't have it be able to evolve to either Gardevoir or what's the other guy's name? Delayed.
Mm-hmm.
Just Gardevoir. Just Gardevoir. I think it fits with the other starters, right? Because you have Ghost, Dark, and Fighting.
Yeah.
So here we go, a Psychic, right? I feel like Ghost, Dark, Fighting, Psychic. Psychic's kind of like that one that's around Dark and Ghost. I feel like they have a lot in common, right?
Mm-hmm.
I guess in the game, I haven't played Arceus, but in the game, the starters look the way they're supposed to, and then only the final evolution looks different, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I would do.
Oh man, you don't think the fighting one would fit in better? Actually, because it'd be the counter to dark type. The grass one has flying. The water one's dark, the grass one's flying.
Hold on, no, the water one's dark and the grass one is fighting.
Oh, you're right.
And Typhlosion is Ghost.
Yeah.
So I feel like Ghost, Dark, Psychic would make sense. Ghost, so Psychic would beat Fighting. Ghost would beat Psychic. And Dark would beat Ghost.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Dark would also beat Psychic, though. I mean, it does make sense, but I didn't really go with
No, you're fine, you're fine.
But yeah, I really found some really cool, art pieces here of what a Hisuian Guard of War could look like. And plus, he should also have that fairy type, which is kind of overpowered anyway.
I really love the one that looks like the Zoroark, kind of.
Yeah.
That's an awesome That's an awesome photo.
I like that one too. We have had a lot of variants for Gardevoir. We have Mega Gardevoir, which is pretty much like Gardevoir with a gigantic white skirt, like super puffy white skirt. I don't really like that. Then you have like Iron Valiant, which is pretty cool, but I still prefer these Hisuian art pieces I found. So I know how you usually feel about Pokemon with clothes, but how do you feel about Gardevoir?
To me, it didn't even really register as clothes. I guess I can kind of see it, I guess it didn't really bother me because this is not a Pokemon I typically look at, use, or interact with. The only time I interact with these is just to fill my Pokedex. But that doesn't mean they're not good. I do feel like they are used a lot, and I do feel like the Pokemon community, likes them.
Yeah.
It is I've never really been drawn to this evolution line. So.
Do the clothes bother you on this one though? Like on the regular one or some of these redesigned?
The middle evolution's a little weird.
It's
the more I look at the more I look at it. The rots on the last one's fine.
It's pretty elegant, I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's all I really have to say about it. This one was a little. I feel like Hisui is a little different because I felt like I had to use a Pokemon that already, exists in another generation, and then give it kind of a different final evolution. But I feel like Gardevoir, just for its looks, you could do some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
That's
all right.
kind of nice.
So I picked
something very different from your last choice.
Badoo! Yeah, look, I even have them there together.
Yeah. That's cute.
So again, I'd be replacing the grass starter. For me though, this just has starter vibes. For me though, like the baby Pokemon looking thing, and then we go to the middle evolution, which is good, and then the adult, which kind of is a theme when it comes to starters. Poison grass would not really substitute the grass fighting so well. I mean, it'd still be weak to Psychic. It just wouldn't counter the dark type very well.
What if you gave her the dark type and something else to Samurai? Have you seen Roserade's Shiny?
No.
Look it up real quick. I feel like Roserade's Shiny could be considered kind of a dark type.
Oh.
Roserade.
Let me... Let's look at this together.
Yep.
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 Oh, they kind of changed the color of the pom-poms.
Yeah, like
and they
black
gave it red
roses,
eyes. Yeah, I do like that a lot more. I feel like that could pass as a dark type, you know.
Yeah.
And then so the dark type in Arceus is actually the water one, and I guess we can give the water a fighting type maybe.
Sure, why not? I mean, he does, like, Samurai is known for using its, like, blades come out of his legs.
Yeah, that would make
sense.
Very
fighting.
Reminiscent
of fighting.
Yeah, I mean, like, it would take definitely some twists and turns and contour.
Yeah.
You know, some bending over backwards to make this work. But I do feel like looks alone, this would make a good starter. Even if it is
We're always willing to bend over for the Pokemon.
Yeah, for sure. Really, any reason. Any excuse to bend over. We're usually there.
Any Pokemon. except what's his name? Except the ice cream Pokemon.
Yeah, except the ice cream one.
Except Nose Rock, too. Not you, Nose Rock. We won't bend over for you.
Yeah.
We know what you do.
You should be ashamed.
You should be ashamed.
All right, but that's what I got. That's what I got for Badoo. You know, cool. Let's move on.
I think it's a good thing.
Yeah.
I like that thing. I actually really like Roserade. That's the first shiny I caught in X and Y, so I was pretty happy with that one.
Nice. All right, number 8.
Number 8 will be the Sword and Shield.
Galar. Sword and Shield. Galar.
Yeah, man. I like, as far as final evolutions go, this guy makes a starter.
Is he in there? The first time I've ever laid eyes on this Pokemon was in Violet and Scarlet.
Yeah, no, he's from Sword and Shield.
Okay.
Yeah, originally. I like the idea too of, like, depending on what the nature of your Toxel is, just decides what color your toxicity is going to be. Of course, this Pokemon is one that just has, like, you know, the baby evolution. It literally looks like a baby with a diaper crawling around, and then it has its adult evolution. To make a middle evolution, I think whoever drew this out,
yeah,
does
guys,
a good job.
I want to do a huge shout out to this in progress Pokemon people. We are using a lot of artwork, me included, and later on in the slideshow. They do a great job bringing these middle, like, progresses to life, and it's super creative. Just want to give credit to them. We did not create these pictures. They do a really good job, though. I personally have used a couple too coming up.
Yeah. Thanks for giving credit right in there. Mm-hmm. You're good about that. Yeah. Thanks. Thank you, guys. Mm-hmm. I think that's a pretty cool idea too, to just have a starter. And if I picked this as a starter, a Toxel, I would not look it up to see which ability or which nature it has. I would just wait and see if I got the blue one or the yellow one. It'd be kind of like a cool little surprise, you know?
Yeah.
It'd be kind of neat. We've had an electric Pokemon, and this one is better than Pikachu. I think I could say that.
Yeah,
easily.
Poison electric, right?
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I love this. One thing I also love about it, I was looking at the Pokedex that says that Toxel has a selfish nature and loves seeking attention. I feel like most of the time, well, maybe not most of the time, I don't know. I feel like a lot of our starters...
Same.
Most of the time,
That's
every
a vibe. He's
most
a whole
of the time,
vibe.
every time. Yeah. I feel like a lot of our starter Pokemon, we're giving some kind of personality traits. You know? Like, I feel like, what's his name? The Trouser Snake from Black and White. Snivy's, like, very, up, nose up, kind of thinks he's better than everyone else. You've got, like, your Charmander, that when they evolve, they kind of get a little more angsty. You've got, I feel like a lot of these starters, they kind of have some kind of personality. This one already has a personality going for it. It's just a selfish and loves seeking attention. He's got a personality. He's got the electric type. We've had electric starters, and man, I love this idea of just having a little guy and see what he turns to be, what he gets to grow up to be.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah,
oh man, I love that design. It would be hard not to choose him just off the design. You know.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Who are the starters in Galar?
So we have the bunny, Score Bunny, the soccer bunny, the fire one, and then the water one is the one that you're using that shoots water with his finger gun, Inteleon. And then the grass one is Rillaboom, the one that had the gorilla with the drums.
Yeah, so we definitely be picking him.
Yeah, I'd pick him or Score Bunny just because soccer.
Soccer.
Yeah. No, he does have a better design. What'd you say?
Just because of football.
Just because of football. Exactly. Yeah.
All right.
I like how he's got like a little belt of poison points. It's so cool.
Yeah.
I've never used this guy, but I think maybe my next time I do, if we ever play Sword and Shield or do another run with in Paldea, I'd like to use this one.
I was about to say I had him on my starting team.
You did?
Yeah, I loved it.
I should have. I just had the belly bolts just because I thought he was so cute.
No, I'm very vain with my Pokemon. I only put the best looking ones on there.
Yeah,
right.
I don't blame you.
Alright, so I got a pretty controversial one coming up. So
Yay.
I would put Roly-Poly, the Roly-Poly of the Pokemon. So this is not a pretty starter. I don't think anything that looks like this would ever get approved as a starter. But I don't actually like the Fire Bunny and was extremely eager to replace it.
You don't like football?
No football?
No football? You're like, no, I like rock nipples.
Yeah, rock nipples.
Do you ever get a feeling that nipples are just too soft?
Yeah. Look, this nipples are on fire.
Yeah.
I don't really feel like the first two evolutions give off starter vibes, but I definitely could see the third evolution, Colossal, as a starter. It's really hard for me to see how the first two tie into each other. Maybe like the first one's a coal and the second one's a coal cart, and then the third one's a Godzilla. I'm not really Coal Mountain.
Dude, this Pokemon was literally made because of Gigantamax.
Really?
It has to be. Like this was the region that had Gigantamax, and this Pokemon, it looks like they wanted to make a big, cool, gigantic monster thing. I can't see this final evolution being anything other than a reason to, or a Pokemon that they thought would look really cool if it was big.
Yeah. And I mean, like, it gives off, like, if Golem was a fire type to me. Like, the body shape, the head. I picked this one strictly off the third evolution. I feel like if this were to be a fire starter, they would have redesigned the first two. What's Metagross's first evolution? That's what
Meldum?
Yeah, that's what Roly-Poly kind of reminds me of.
Yeah, I see that.
But
well, so you think it's controversial because people like the bunny, or
yeah,
just because you don't think it's that good looking?
For one, I think people like the bunny, and two, this doesn't look like a starter lineup.
Gotcha.
The first one, the first evolution is usually portrayed as pretty, like, cute, I think that's kind of how they always try to draw you in. And let's face it, no one's picking Roly Poly.
For cuteness.
Yeah.
Well, can I say something controversial?
Yep.
I think the middle evolution is the best one of all these.
Oh, the little cart, little coal cart.
I love it so much. I love it so much. Way better than the other two, personally.
His name is Charcoal.
Charcoal, yes. It's beautiful. Oh my gosh, I've never used this, and I literally have what's the final evolution's name?
Colossal.
Colossal, yeah. I use him to just hatch eggs.
Yeah, me too.
He's got
the warm body.
Yeah, and Aldea. Yeah, the flame body.
Mm-hmm.
But man, if I could bring him back to being the little what is it?
Charcoal.
Charcoal, yeah.
Just never evolve.
He's so cute. He's adorable.
Yeah, I'm kind of waiting. Like, apparently, I'm gonna run into this eventually. I'll have a Charcoal on my team.
Yeah, probably eventually. Oh, for your type room because you're doing a fire type room. Yeah, true. Charcoal.
All right, let's move on to Alola.
That might be one of my favorite evolutions. All right, Lola. Okay, I love Fomantis, man. I really do. I had so Fomantis only has one evolution, and in this case, instead of giving it a middle one, I would actually just make a final one even cooler. Not that Lurantis isn't cool, but I did have a Lurantis on my team when I played Sun for the first time. And do you know what the typing is for this Pokemon?
If I had a guess, it'd be Grass Fighting.
It's actually just grass.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. So I thought it was cool that you made I thought it'd be a bug type, but it's cool to make a bug-looking Pokemon that's not a bug.
Oh yeah, I do get some bug vibes off the one you chose. So would you be replacing the grass type with this?
This one I would replace the grass type with it. And it hurts my heart because Decidueye, not the Hisuian one, but the one in Sun and Moon is actually pretty cool. It's like he's a archer owl. So I mean I really like Decidueye. I just don't like him as much as Incineroar. I just love the Incineroar look, and he's a wrestler, freaking tiger, so cool. But I had this on my team, the Lurantis. Giving it a final evolution like this, with his big blades and maybe some wings, yeah, that would put it above Decidueye for me. And I also I like the idea of giving us like a more feminine choice when you're playing Pokemon. I feel like after Kanto we got Johto, and they gave us the Meganium, because I feel like more of a feminine look for the two other starters that were masculine looking. And they've done it a couple times. Like Alola does have the sea lion one, Primarina, and that's kind of a female look too. So I guess that would maybe, I don't know, maybe two feminine looking Pokemon and one male looking one. I don't know. I think it might be fine, for one generation to do it like that. But in the Pokemon game Sun and Moon, they have, instead of Pokemon gyms, they have island trials. And the island trial of the island where Lurantis is, you have to go into the forest and gather a bunch of ingredients to make a special soup that lures the Lurantis. And in Sun and Moon, these island trials are really big Pokemon that are extra strong, and they can call other Pokemon to help it fight. So Lurantis was, for me, it was one of my favorite island trials. You see this gigantic freaking, praying mantis coming at you, and having to battle it. It wasn't easy, and it was a grass type, but it wasn't an easy battle. And I liked it ever since.
That's pretty cool. What kind of Pokemon would it call?
Just like the the first evolution usually, or some other Pokemon that lives in that area. But usually it was like the Lurantis would call some Fomantis to come and aid. So you'd have two Pokemon attacking you at the same time. But you can only use one Pokemon.
Interesting. So I kind of went with the same same thought process. I picked a 2 evolutionary line, but I'd give it a 3rd. Although I'd go with the middle. I kind of borrowed this photo again from the In Progress Pokemon. I feel like they drew a really good, it's supposed to be the imagery of this Pokemon evolving, but I feel like it'd make a good middle evolution, because you see some of the features come, like a War Turtle into a Blastoise, and you see them fully develop more as a 3rd evolutionary line, looking more defensive yet offensive at the same time. I'd be replacing the water type, which is the Seal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sea Lion.
The Sea Lion, which is in my opinion. So.
Jeez, man.
Another one I'm happy to see go.
Can you explain yourself? Because I don't see what there is to hate about it.
It's just another circus-themed Pokemon.
Oh, you don't like that? Okay.
I just feel like
I mean, if you don't like that, I understand.
I just feel like they I don't know what Pokemon has with circuses. But it's a weird obsession they got. And they need to stop affecting the starters with it.
Do you not like going to the circus?
Actually, I've been before and I loved it. I just don't like it on my Pokemon.
Okay. Alright.
Like, what's that, Walrus? And, Walrus.
You think he looks circus? I don't know.
Yeah, he's got like the bald head, like the middle-aged man head.
That doesn't mean circus.
Yeah,
a lot of middle-aged men are not in the circus.
That's like the clown hair, though, you know?
A lot of people have curly hair and all within.
They're freaks.
They're freaks. They should be in the circus.
Yeah. It's a missed opportunity.
Oh, man. Yeah, this is a cool Pokemon. This is one of James's Pokemon in the Sun and Moon series.
I saw plenty of pictures of this one with James. I do feel like this one meets, like I was talking with Roly Coly, the cute standard that it would have to meet in order to really make a starter.
Yeah.
And I do feel like the final evolution does look formidable enough to qualify as the final evolution.
Yeah.
Color scheme's great. Really shows off the blue and purple, like shows off its typing perfectly. It'd probably need a boost in stats to be a starter, though. And probably maybe a typing adjustment to kind of equal out the power dynamic between the three. But
okay.
I really enjoy this Pokemon. I haven't got to use it yet, but I totally would.
Yeah. It looks like it'd be pretty bulky.
Yeah.
I've never used one either.
A brick house.
Not that.
You ready?
Let's do it. Where are we at?
Let's move on to
number 6.
Kalos.
In K.
So where's Kalos? Which game is that?
That is X and Y. That is in France. That one's based in France. It's the first 3D game that came out. And so I am going to be just brutally honest with you right now. First time I saw NK and Malamar, I did not like it. But now I will defend it tooth and nail, and I will fight anyone who says they don't like this design.
Is this replacing the water type?
No, it's not replacing the water type. This is Dark Psychic, bro.
Oh, really? I
Yeah,
assumed it was a water type since it's like a little squid.
it's dark psychic.
I love that typing.
Yeah.
However,
This
it doesn't
Pokemon's-
look like a dark type.
Oh my gosh, this Pokemon's so great. First of all, you know to evolve it, once it levels up, you have to turn your 3DS upside down because the squid its design turns upside down.
Interesting. I would have
Yeah,
never thought
that's
to
the
do
only-
that. Like without
Yeah.
without the help of the internet, like I just
Yeah.
would have never assumed this Pokemon evolves.
Yeah, I know, right? So yeah, first of all, like you said, Dark Psychic. Oh my gosh, I love this typing. It's so great, and I love this. It's such an evil Pokemon. It's such an evil Pokemon.
Really?
Pokedex says Malamar possesses strong hypnotic powers, which is said to be the most powerful of any Pokemon. Malamar uses its hypnotic powers to force others to do its bidding. People often utilize its abilities for nefarious deeds. Malamar's hypnotic powers are said to have played a role in several historic changing events.
Really? More than Hypno? That's crazy. Like to me, like Hypno is like the hypnosis Pokemon.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't know, man. This is a very powerful Pokemon, and it's beautiful. I love its design, and like I said, this is one that had to kind of grow on me. So if I was going to make this a starter Pokemon, obviously it's not a water, grass, or fire, or whatever. And I wouldn't change its typing. I don't care. Just have a Dark Psychic starter. But yeah, for a middle evolution, I'd just give it something like the one I put in here. Just a Pokemon that just kind of looks like a bigger Inkay. I don't really care what Inkay or the middle evolution looks like, as long as I get Malamar as the end result. I'll be happy. I'll be a happy boy. And I'm very happy that you can actually catch this early in the game because this is a very strong one.
Yeah. I guess I can kind of see the darkness in it. I wonder if like this Pokemon isn't like necessarily evil; it's just used for evil things, you know. Or do you think like with its hypnosis, it's like controlling its user to do evil things? I guess you know.
I feel like every time I've seen it in like the anime or anything, like it seemed like a pretty evil Pokemon. I could be wrong though. It's been years, you know, since I've seen those. It just gives me those vibes, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love this Pokemon. It's such a unique typing, such a unique evolution, such a unique look, and
Man, I feel like it's such a wasted opportunity though. Like that typing, that Pokedex entry is like a top tier Pokedex entry. Like
yeah.
I feel like it should have been like a pseudo legendary. I think they should have made it look more formidable. You know?
Let me see. I'm gonna tell you right now. Oh, here. I'll look it up here on my phone. It's a little bit easier. Because I honestly, off the top of my head, I cannot tell you what its stats are.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. Malamar, Dark Psychic. Here we go. Yeah, you're right. Stats could definitely be better. It's only weak to Bug and Fairy, so that's kind of nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, attack 92, defense 88, speed is 73.
With an
The
epic,
specials aren't that great.
with an epic Pokedex entry like that, because I love that. You know, I feel like this should have been like a pseudo legendary, and I feel like they could have just made this like an evil looking Pokemon, especially if they're trying to convey it being evil. You know. With that dark typing, you know, unless, like I said, this is just more like an instrument of darkness, because like the Lord of the Rings, the ring, you know, like people just can't help but, you know, like with that much power be corrupted. They do bad things with it, you know. Yeah. I guess it'd be really interesting to kind of delve into that aspect of it. Like, is the Pokemon evil, making people do evil things? Or can people just not help themselves with that much power to be corrupted and turn to like a self-serving nature when they have it?
Gosh.
You know,
man, you make everything sound better.
Oh my
I'm glad you're my partner in this, honestly. Everybody, just listen to Ryman. He knows what he's talking about here.
I would have never even thought to look up. Like when I see the Inkay, I'm just like,
Yeah.
all right, like it's just like a Pokedex entry to kind of fill the spot. I would have never read that Pokedex entry, but I love it. Like, you've made me love this Pokemon.
Yes. Yes. I was afraid you're going to be like, I hate this design.
I don't
Because
I
I
hate it.
honestly.
It kind of gives me what's that ghost type with like the mischievous or
Mischievous, yeah.
kind of
Miss
vibes, Miss Magius vibes, I don't hate it, but man, what a way! Well, I think it's such wasted potential, man. Like that Pokédex entry is,
Yeah. I don't. I think it deserves it, but I think it's like one of those Pokemon like you have to either love it or hate it.
You know what they could have done is like they could have kept the tentacles. They made them longer, like wispier, or something like really make it a dark type. Like instead of purple, like black.
Yeah.
Really kind of delved into that dark type. Because I would mistake this as a poison type the way it looks.
Okay.
Like I would think it was a poison water type if I were just judging if I was judging the book by its cover.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I guess nowadays it's harder to judge by covers than it was back in the day.
Yeah, I am glad you picked this Pokemon though. I learned a lot right now. That's
Yay.
really cool. All right, so my next. Yeah, so my next one is.
Yes! My boy! That's my favorite ghost type.
Yeah, so I would be replacing the grass type. And again, like I said earlier, thanks to In Progress Pokemon, I think that'd be a great middle evolution. The pumpkin's kind of developing. The hat is kind of transforming into a sentient stem. I love the design of this Pokemon. I know you do too.
Yes.
And I feel like this Pokemon, for as popular it is, isn't given the recognition. Because what is the grass starter again for Kalos?
Kalos, the grass starter, is. It's the Chespin.
Yeah.
It's the one that.
I feel like Chespin's kind of faded into like obscurity. Like.
Yeah. It's his colors, man. His colors are bad.
Yeah. I think this would have just made a greater starter. Not to mention I love Halloween. I just love everything about this Pokemon is just cool. I love ghost types.
I love how it disappears and then attacks you from behind.
Yeah.
So cool.
And a little prison inspiration going on there.
Yeah.
And Gorgeist is just an awesome name too.
Yeah, I can't say more nice things about Gorgeist. It's on my top 10. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
And I think that's cool. Like that you want to just give it an evolution. Where it's just like it just looks like it's growing up. It looks like it's just developing, as opposed to 3 Pokemon that look completely different, but somehow are tied together by 1 or 2 things.
Yeah, I feel like that's not something done enough in Pokemon. Like the first 2 evolutions are always kind of similar, like with our starters. The third can sometimes just change so wildly, so dramatically,
Yeah, you're right about that.
But all right,
I guess that's something that I feel like I'm not a huge Hoenn fan, but I feel like that's something that Hoenn kind of did pretty well, right? Like with the Swampert and the Blaziken,
I agree,
and Sceptile. They did a good job about that. I can't complain.
Yeah, and like one of the best examples is like Venusaur, like Bulbasaur. Like his back, is starting to sprout. He's getting a little bigger. In Venusaur, it's fully sprouted.
Right.
I feel like those make some strong Pokemon lines. When you see like Machop,
right.
Like every evolution he gains, bigger and bigger until eventually he grows 2 arms. But or like the
It's
Poliwag, you know, or
it's great because it's like what you were saying. They give you this cute Pokemon to fall in love with, and then they find a way to make what this cute Pokemon is look strong and powerful, as opposed to giving you this cute Pokemon you love and then evolving into something that's totally different. Like I feel like Chespin is kind of like that. Like Chespin is super cute, and then its final evolution's like, what happened?
yeah, it's really different.
Yeah. And so, like, you made me fall in love with Chespin, but now I don't care about it because he evolves into this thing.
This monstrosity. All right, let's go to Unova.
Timber. I love this line. You guys know my favorite Pokemon's Marowak. I like Pokemon with weapons. And these guys have some of the best weapons in all of Pokemon, in my opinion. Doesn't get better than a steel beam.
Yeah.
Oh man. So I don't know. I guess it's my love for Marowak that kind of also makes me love Timber and its evolutionary line. I think that a pure fighting starter would be pretty refreshing and kind of new. You know, I think that's what we're doing, right? Me and Ryman, we're starting pretty soon a solo run. And I'm going to be using Timber, he's going to be using Machop. I'm looking forward to it just because I've used fighting types, but I've never, used fighting type as a starter Pokemon, let alone a solo Pokemon. They're pretty, they can learn all kinds of moves, and they're adaptable. I love this line. I know Ryan has a problem with the big, huge tumor of a nose that Conkeldurr has.
Like, why is it turn red?
Yeah, and to tell you the truth, I think it could definitely be resized a little bit smaller because I cannot see his other eye. And I feel like he's almost looking at me straight.
It's a problem.
It's a problem. And then he's got the Machine Gun Kelly bun, which I don't love that either. But everything else I love about this.
His skin-covered bun.
His skin-covered bun, right? It would be interesting, and I'm looking forward to trying out a fighting type. Of course, the one thing I would change about this, other than maybe size and skin bun, is you'd have to get rid of the trait evolution. Just have it evolve at level 25 or something. I don't know. But well, not 25. That's pretty high. That's pretty low. That'd be like 32, right?
I'm about to say, I think the normal's 36.
Yeah. Well, Venusaur evolves at 32, so I'd do 32.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, I like Timber. I like this line. I enjoyed using them through my Black and White 2 playthrough, and I'm going to be looking forward to the solo run we're doing. But yeah, I don't have much more to say about this line. I just want to do a fighting starter, and I want one with weapons. And this covers everything.
Yeah. Again, I'd be switching to grass type. And I'd be picking Swaddle.
The bug starter.
Yeah, well, grass bug. Alright.
Get it right, Brian.
Yeah. I feel like Swaddle definitely meets like the Q criteria, like they try to go. And I feel like Levani is just formidable enough to pass, It's so different, looks more adult-like. The humanoid aspect is a little weird to me, but I can get over it,
But don't you think like leaf bugs kind of look like that though?
Yeah.
They do kind of look like that. Maybe they don't stand like a human like that, but if they wanted to, they could. They could. If they wanted to, they could. But they're pretty, like, they can move around.
Yeah. I think we haven't really... They're like a fighting type. We haven't really got like a bug type, fighting type. Like there are so many other typings I feel like we haven't yet to explore. as a starting type, with the starting stat buffs and the power dynamic. It hasn't really been really explored either with like a bug type or a fighting type. Like they could do like bug fighting psychic, right?
Or how about just to make it weak, weak Pokemon typing, so you could do bug, rock, ice.
Yeah.
Oh no, ice would be good against rock and bug. Maybe bug, rock, and what? What's bug good against? It's like just grass, huh?
Yeah.
Just grass.
Kind of.
I don't know.
I mean, that's why it's gonna really the grass typing would also help it kind of round out. It's pretty. It's a pretty simple evolutionary line, which isn't like a bad thing in Pokemon. But I definitely feel like people would pick this just for the first evolution, just for Sweetle.
I love his little circle feet.
Yeah. Alright, let's go to Sinnoh. Oh?
I think probably most people, if they had to pick a starter from Sinnoh, it'd be Shinx. Shinx is, for some reason, at the very beginning of the game. What is it, like Route 2, right? Or something like that?
Yeah. I think it might even be in Route 1, too. Route 1 also?
Something like that. I don't know. I think Route 1 was like... It might be. I know there's like Starlies and Bidoofs.
I think it is. At least in MMO it is.
It's great, man. This is a great Pokemon, especially for them to give you right at the beginning of the game.
Yeah, that's definitely...
And a final evolution. Yeah.
That's,
what did you say?
That's definitely an evolution. As it is, like, with it being a starter, I'm sure they'd buff it even more, but, like, it's strong enough to carry with you through the whole game. Like... You can for sure use like Luxray at the very end,
True. Use them the whole time, and it's got that starter look where you have a cute one, like a teenager looking one, and then just a badass one. It's got his thing looks like it came from the planet Vegeta for sure.
Yeah.
Like I can just imagine like King Vegeta petting a Luxray as he's like telling everyone that. To go conquer other worlds or whatever. Yeah, I honestly think I'm just going with popular vote here. I think most people would agree with me that if they needed choose a different Pokemon as a starter, this would be a very, very, very good option. It has an aggressive nature, thus taming a Shinx is said to take great practice. Great patience. I read that wrong. So it's an aggressive nature, thus taming a Shinx is said to take great patience. It's like Pikachu, pretty much, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's another Pikachu with way better evolutions. We literally just watched that episode.
Practice.
we talk about practice. not the game you die for. Practice. We talk about practice.
Good one.
Did you see that clip with Allen Iverson?
Yeah. That's what I was referencing.
Yeah, did you see what Yao Ming said at his Hall of Fame speech?
No.
Yao Ming was being inducted to the Hall of Fame at the same time as Allen Iverson. And he goes up there and he's like, it's such an honor to be, inducted into the Hall of Fame. And he goes, I was very surprised that they wanted me to go first. Because I thought that the great Allen Iverson should go first. And Allen's like clapping. He's like, thank you. He's like, because I need more practice. And everybody cracked up laughing. Alan was on the floor laughing. It was so good.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
So I went with Floatzel, or Beazle. He's this gives off starter vibes to me. Like if you told me this was a starter lineup for Sinnoh, I could see it. I would not think twice about it. Because again, he looks just small enough, cute enough to to reel you in the final Floatzel. Definitely looks formidable. He's bigger. He's stronger. Um, and still kind of carries those Bucel attributes like the whiskers, the eyes, the nose, Kind of like a water fox, almost.
A weasel.
Weasel?
Yeah, it's
I am Weasel. IR Baboon.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Of course.
I'd have to squint a little bit to see it as a starter, but
really?
I can see it, I guess.
Who's the starter for Sinnoh?
The water starter for Sinnoh is Empoleon.
Empoleon.
The penguin.
I actually kind of like Empoleon.
Yeah.
But I think I like the other two better.
You like in other two, like Infernape and Torterra?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you didn't like Infernape.
Infernape's like... He's okay. He kind of reminds me of like the Legend of Goku kind of thing. Not Dragon Ball Z Goku.
Yeah.
But
yes, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Yeah. Do you like his floaty?
I do.
Okay.
Because I don't really look at it as a floaty. It kind of looks like almost like a scarf. Like.
Yeah. This is one of those Pokemon I don't really know how to feel about. I've used it before, but even after using it, I was like, I don't really know if I like it.
Yeah. Yeah,
I do like that.
It's super unique in the fact that he has like his own mechanics, like his tail spins. Like he has like the little shark fin. I think he's unique enough that he could pass to me. He's not like a. He has enough details to set him aside, set him apart.
Like a water drop belly button.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't hate it. Good old Weasel.
Mm-hmm.
The Weasel of the Sea.
The Weasel of the Sea. Yeah. All right, you ready to enter the top three? We were
top
officially
three,
in top
which
three
is just
territory.
3 generation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just not really our top 3. Aaron.
Hoenn.
Aaron.
Aaron.
I know, guys. I know it's rock. It's type yuck, but it's also steel. I've never used him.
So what is that? Is that like the typing with like the most weaknesses combined with the one with the least, or like the most resistances?
I know, right? It might be. Yeah. So I've never used him, but if he was a starter in Hoenn, I might have. I really like Sceptile, but I do like this design of Aggron more than Swampert or Blaziken.
Blasphemy.
Not Mega Swampert, though. That thing's a beast.
Man,
all those muscles.
Does Aaron have a Mega Evolution?
He does, and it's ugly.
Really?
Look it up, yeah. You want to do? Oh, yeah, it'd be not Aaron, it'd be Aggron. AGG.
Oh. Yeah, they kind of just like double down on the armor, huh?
Yeah. Too much. In my opinion. Maybe some people like it, though. There you go.
Yeah.
Who needs armor when you're fat?
That's a thing.
Well, yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the starters from Gen 3, other than Sceptile. I think Sceptile looks pretty cool. I would probably change it so that it's only steel. I would take away the rock typing. It doesn't really look like a rock type anyway. I'll just keep it as steel. It's got high base stats, but like, I think what I would do also, stat-wise. I take away some of its physical defense. Because its physical defense stat is at 180.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, I just take some of that away and then add to some other stats because, like, some of his other stats are not very great.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I changed the stats around a little bit, changed the typing where it's just steel, and, yeah, I mean, that's all he needs. He's got the look. He's got the look.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron's cute. The middle evolution is great looking. Teenage phase, and Aggron's just a monster.
Yeah, even if
It's
it
like,
even if it
it's
had
like
the
a
rock
whole
typing,
yeah.
I would still pick this just because of how cool that final evolution looks.
Yeah, man. He's like the Hoenn Nidoking.
Mm-hmm.
The Hoenn Godzilla type.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. A steel typing might be interesting too, or beginning of the game, where you're running out into like birds and normal types that can't do anything to you.
Oh man, just a beast. Maybe they should keep that rock typing.
For the birds, so you can throw rocks.
Yeah. So I kind of went with the fire route, replaced the fighter starter.
Good pick. Good pick.
Yeah, Camerot. We kind of were discuss this one, and with Camerot's ground typing, it would make all of them have a ground type, right? Like Torterra.
You could do it like that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no! Oh, sorry, you're talking about.
The starters.
Okay, so Torterra is in Sinnoh.
Oh.
Hoenn is Blaziken.
Well, it would
So
make
he's fire.
two out of three ground types. You know.
Yeah.
So that
Maybe we can move Torterra down to Sinnoh as well.
Right, just all on ground.
Yeah.
But I think this has like starter vibes. Although like I used a in progress Pokemon for the photo, but actually I think this would probably be better with a actually like third evolution line.
Oh, like a bigger camera?
Yeah. Because Camerot, you know, like it's bigger, but it kind of gives me like middle evolutionary vibes. You know, it's not completely threatening looking. You know.
Really? Okay, that's interesting.
He kind of goes from camel to like evil cow to me.
Evil cow.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I love Camera. That's a really good pick. I like the ground fire. I use this for my ground type run, and it's a special attacker, so that's unique too.
Which is crazy because it looks like a physical attacker.
No. Camerupt.
Are there any good special ground attacks?
Yeah. What's the one he has that I was using? Earth Power.
Earth Power. That's special?
Yeah.
Oh. The animation's always so physical.
It's so physical.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think so. Earthquake does 100 damage. I think Earth Power does 90.
Oh, okay, that's right up there.
Yeah.
All right, let's head over to Johto.
Oh, my favorite generation. Alright. But Brian, Zubat is from Kanto. Not Crobat, though. Crobat is from Johto. And you know what? I think most people probably... I don't know. I can't keep assuming what most people would do, but I think a lot of people might have Ampharos as a Johto starter. What I would do, and this is totally, like, moving things around. In Kanto, we only had Zubat and Golbat. And then next generation, they gave us Crobat, who's still, to this day, a very good Pokemon. People still use it competitive.
Yeah.
I think they still use it competitive. If they don't, they should. No, just not because, just because I said so, pretty much. But what I would do is say that Kanto, yes, Kanto Zubats are very, very, very common. You see them everywhere in the cave. But that doesn't mean that Johto, they have to be common. Johto, they could say that, oh, the Zubats, So maybe someone brought Zubats over from Kanto and they weren't, they didn't reproduce well. So maybe there's only just a few in Johto.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is in Gold and Silver, after you're done with Johto, you get to go to Kanto. So that'd be like a free starter because Zubats are everywhere.
Right.
But I didn't really think it all the way through. I just want Crobat to be a final evolution. And I just want Zubat to be a starter because I just love this line so very much.
I do love some Crobat.
Yeah, not bad. It's a great Pokemon. So fast. I think the biggest draw for this idea would be to get those Gen 1ers, when Johto came out, to keep playing.
Mm-hmm.
They'd be like, hey, yeah, you can't get Venusaur, Charizard, or Blastoise, but look, we have the Zubat line, and he has a new evolution. And that might let some people be like, oh, okay, yeah, I know Zubat, I know Bobat. Oh, cool, he got a new evolution. I want to pick him as my starter. As opposed to the really awesome Typhlosion or Feraligatr, but whatever. You'd have to fill the case with something else. I don't know, like Spinnerax, I guess. Unknowns.
Unknowns.
Yeah, just Spinnerax and Unknowns. That'd be good enough. That'd be really annoying, wouldn't it?
Oh my gosh, it'd be horrible running that many spiders.
Yeah, I don't care. This is my pick. And I want Crobat.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I picked
The end.
Hippo. Again, I feel like I've done a lot of hating the grass types, but I think this is a pretty cool evolutionary line. I feel like this meets like the little cuteness criteria. Grass flying. Pretty unique. I like it. Like, shout out to our boy Tropius.
Yeah. Don't you think it's kind of a step down though? I feel like the way it flies is kind of a step down. You go from a helicopter to a smaller helicopter to like balloons.
I would say it's a step up.
Balloons?
Can you think of a more epic way to fly? Have you seen the movie?
Balloon?
Did you not like the movie Up? Did you?
Because if you didn't, you're a monster.
You're a monster. Did you not cry at the scene?
I mean, the best part of Up was just like the beginning montage.
You're saying the best part Up was the grandma dying?
Yeah.
It should have ended there. That was the peak.
It should have. That was a perfect short story.
That was the climax.
That was the. Oh, man. Tell me what you're about these guys.
So my hand was kind of forced in this Johto area because I was only replacing the starters. This was the only 3 evolutionary line in there, and it was really hard to justify another one. But they would need a major stat boost for sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Especially because of all the weaknesses they have.
But definitely, I feel like we could use more of like a feminine starter. I feel like.
More than Meganium?
Yeah, I wasn't a big Meganium fan.
I mean, it's pretty feminine though. It's very flowery.
Yeah, I meant in general. Like, I wasn't.
Oh, okay.
I feel like this would be a cuter lineup. But it will definitely need like a Venusaur type of play style, like tanky, more so than aggressive.
Yeah. Maybe just make them bigger then, or what?
Yeah, like Gigantamax it.
Have you ever seen these plants? They're as big as a mansion. Not Growlithe's mansion, this mansion.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. But let's move on to Kanto. I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, number 1. Last one. Alright. It ran female.
No,
I think
no, Nidoqueen on purpose, or
Nidoqueen on purpose. What do you mean on purpose?
like more like Nidoran, or like Nidoqueen or Nidoking, or just Nidoqueen.
Just Nidoqueen.
Okay.
It gives a little variety on the dad bods because Nidoqueen's got the mom bod.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. So you got the three Venusaur, Charizard, Blastoise all have those big daddy guts. You give one of the big mommy boobies, and
Yeah.
that's it. No, just kidding. That's pretty much it.
She's got like a built-in bikini.
I was thinking, actually, this was another option. I was thinking what you could do is put Nidoran male as the starters,
Mm-hmm.
and then just have the other starters from Kanto. But if you reset your game and you keep resetting, it would be really rare, but you could also get a Nidoran female.
Oh, kind of.
And maybe the Nidoran, it'd be a little bit more rare to do the female, and so it'd have more or less the same stats as Nidoking, but it'd be more rare because it's just a smaller chance of you getting a Nidoran female. And so you got more of a feminine option here. It would be a Pokemon that would be rare as a starter. Like starters are already rare, but it's just given to you. This one you have to like reset, and hope you get a female.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I just love her design. I feel like it's wasted that you can catch this Pokemon like right alongside the bug Pokemon in Kanto.
It's kind of weird.
It makes you feel like, oh, this is not a very significant Pokemon. It's literally standing right next to a Weedle, or a Kakuna or something.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I love Nidoqueen. I think I would go with that option. Just Nidoran male, and if you keep resetting, you can get a female. So that if you want one that's a starter that's a little more rare than the others, you can have that female Nidoran.
Yeah.
And I boost a little bit the stats, just a little bit.
Would you change Venusaur's secondary typing to make room for this one, or?
That's a good point. Yeah, maybe we could do. Let's see. So this one would be Poison Ground, and I mean, we could go with just grass, but I don't really like that.
I mean, Blastoise is just water.
Yeah. I guess we would have to go with just grass. Or maybe the tree can spin and like a helicopter. Just
there you go.
Take your tree off, twist it around your head, something like a helicopter. Yeah, no.
Could you imagine how much tree it would have to be to lift up a Venusaur?
Yeah, no. Yeah, I guess it'd just have to be grass. That's okay though. Yeah, I don't hate that. So the grass would take care. The poison would take care of Venusaur. I'm just trying to think of the power dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
But Venusaur would. Yeah, so poison would take care of the grass.
And the grass would take care of the ground?
Not really, because it had poison, so it wouldn't be weak to grass. Yeah, I guess the water would take care of the ground. Yeah, I'm sure it could work somehow.
So I went ahead with Poliwag.
Great choice.
Just because to start with, like we just mentioned, Blastoise was the only starter not given a secondary typing. And it's a crime, a war crime.
Actually.
Again, this meets like the cuteness test. I feel like this is such an awesome typing and line that it doesn't get used enough. It's very underrated. And I feel like if it was one of the starters, it would definitely get the play it deserved. I still feel like Squirtle's an awesome lineup. I cannot emphasize enough how much I love Wartortle. Blastoise not so much, but Wartortle just top peak Pokemon engineering.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, but this is super unique, you know, like the swirl. It's definitely recognizable from afar. The secondary typing would definitely help it out. It'd be more versatile through Kanto, the fighting type.
Yeah. And then it would also give Charizard, right? Because it'd be flying versus fighting, water versus fire.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. But Kanto's my favorite region, and I think this would be a fair choice. You know.
Well, you know, Poliwag was in the comics was Red's first Pokemon he ever had.
Oh, it was his starter.
Yeah, I mean, like his starter was Bulbasaur that he got from Professor Oak, but before he ever went to Professor Oak, like a Poliwag evolved into a Poliwhirl so he could save him from drowning.
Yeah, crazy.
And then that was his first Pokemon ever. So, yeah, that'd be a great starter.
Yeah, man.
And that does it for our Impo-starters?
Yeah, Impo-starters. Impo-starters.
Just starters we like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyways, you guys on YouTube, put a comment. If you made it all the way to the end, let us know what starters you would have for each generation.
Yeah,
or
you agreed,
some of the generations.
disagreed.
Yeah. We'd love to hear what you guys think. Yeah. With that said, do you have anything to add, Ryman?
No.
You don't want no Nala eyes?
Yeah, that's give your significant other those Nala eyes. You know, hang those bananas off your chin. And have a good day. Evening, morning. Whenever you're watching this.
From two best friends, two Pokemon.
Pokemon.
Streaming right at you. Okay, bye guys. We gotta go. It's nighttime.